Leviticus 6. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, when a person sins and commits trespass against the Lord by deceiving his fellow citizen in regard to something held in trust or a pledge or something stolen, or by extorting something from his fellow citizen, or has found something lost and denies it and swears falsely concerning any one of the things that someone might do to sin. So, these ones cannot be unintentional. You can't unintentionally lie. You can't unintentionally steal. You can't unintentionally extort. You can't unintentionally find something and decide to keep it when people say, hey, did you see it? And you say, no. Those are all intentional. So we are going in a direction. We just finished with last chapter. If it's an unintentional one, it's this. Now we're going, these are intentional ones, and they are committed against someone else. When it happens that he sins and he is found guilty, then he must return whatever he had stolen or whatever he had extorted, or the thing that he had held in trust, or the lost thing that he had found, or anything which he swears falsely. He must restore it in full and add 1/5 to it. So just like the previous, we're adding 1/5 to it. So 20% is being added to what is being returned. He must give it to its owner when he is found guilty. So let's just say, you stole a cool $1 million. You have to return $1.2 million. You have to make restoration. It is part of the process of restoring right relationship. Then he must bring his guilt offering to the Lord, a flawless ram from the flock convertible into the silver shekel for a guilt offering to the priest. So you return plus 20% and repay everything you stole, and you have to go do a guilt offering. So the priest will make atonement on his behalf before the Lord, and he will be forgiven for whatever he has done to become guilty. So whatever you did to become guilty, you have sinned, you return that to the person. You pay a restoration fee on top of it, and then you make an offering and you are forgiven. So this is all intentional things here. There's no unintentionality here. So if someone ever says to you there's no forgiveness for intentional sin, Leviticus 6 has forgiveness for intentional sins. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, command Aaron and his sons. This is the law of burnt offering. The burnt offering is to remain on the hearth of the altar all night until morning, and the fire of the altar must be kept burning on it. Then the priest must put on his linen robe and must put linen leggings over his bare flesh, and he must take the fatty ashes of the burnt offering from the fire consumed on the altar, and he must place them beside the altar. So now we have the priest in special garb, his linen robe and his linen leggings, and he is going to remove. So we have the command that there is a burnt offering that is going all night long. So there's two offerings not mentioned yet here, but the offering at the daybreak and the offering in the evening. So there's two a day. And so there's always an offering that is going up to God. There's always a fire that is burning. And the priest now, what do we do with the ashes that are piling up? So we have a proper, they are placed beside the altar. There. Okay. Then he must take off his clothes and put on other clothes, and he must bring the fatty ashes outside the camp to a ceremonial clean place. So he is removing the ashes. Remember, there was an ashes container that was made, and there were ashes utensils and all things made of bronze for the burning of offerings. So he's cleaning out, he's putting on his special linen leggings so that he can do the removal of the ashes to the bucket. Now he's going to ceremonially take them outside the camp, but the fire which is on the altar must be kept burning on it. So even while you're cleaning out the ashes, there's always a fire burning. It must not be extinguished, so that the priest must kindle wood on it morning by morning, and he must arrange the burnt offering on it and offer the fat of the peace offering up in smoke on it. A continual fire must be kept burning on the altar. It must not be extinguished. So even when you're tending to taking care of the ashes and you're tending to making burnt offerings, the fire continues constantly, 24/7. There's no break. which would mean, wait a minute, that would also include the Sabbath, correct? Yes. Thought there's no work on the Sabbath. No, this isn't work, this is offerings. This is the law of the grain offering. The sons of Aaron are to present it before the Lord in front of the altar, and the priest must take up with his hands some of the choice wheat flour of the grain offering, and some of the olive oil, and all of the frankincense that is on the grain offering, and he must offer a memorial portion up in smoke on the altar as a soothing aroma to the Lord. Aaron and his sons are to eat what is left over from it. It must be eaten unleavened in a holy place. They are to eat it in the courtyard of the tent of meeting. So we've had offering. We've had some that, yes, it's for Aaron and his sons. This is the first time we're told where to eat it. And, oh, you had flour presented, but you can't add leaven to the flour that you have. So it sounds like, perhaps, we'll see it, we'll keep reading, that the priests are never to have leaven in anything they eat. Aaron and his sons are, well, maybe while they're in the temple, that is to say, in the tent of meeting. The courtyard is where they're to eat it. They must not be baked with yeast. I have given it as their portion from my gifts. It is most holy, like the sin offering and the guilt offering. Every male among the sons of Aaron must eat it as a perpetual allotment through your generations from the gifts of the Lord. Anyone who touches these gifts must be holy. Anyone who touches them must be holy. The question is whether this is referring to the contagious nature of holy objects or whether it is simply setting forth the demands that anyone who touches the holy gifts of the Lord must be a holy person. So we have the offering, we have perpetual allotment, and now it's the sons of Aaron. So, like, you invite the whole household to come and partake in the meal, in the temple, in the tabernacle. Then the Lord spoke to Moses. This is the offering of Aaron and his sons, which they must present to the Lord on the day when he is anointed. 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour as a continual grain offering, half of it in the morning and half in the evening. So when you are presented to the Lord on the day that he's anointed, so when you become a priest, I think that's what I was talking about, when you become anointed, when you're set apart, you have 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour as a continual grain offering, half in the morning, half in the evening. So this sounds like from the day forward, maybe you do this every day. So Aaron and his sons are to bring this. So where do you get the flour from? Maybe it's from the offerings that are brought. So every day, as you are a priest, from the day that you are anointed, you bring 1/10 of an ephah of choice flour as a continual grain offering, half in the morning, half in the evening. It must be made with olive oil on a griddle and must bring it well soaked. So don't know what that fully means. What does the footnote say there? The term rendered well soaked occurs only 3 times, and it's sometimes translated well mixed, well stirred, well kneaded. Okay. That would make sense. Yeah, well mixed. If you're using that much olive oil with the flour, it's going to be soaked. So yes, it'd be well mixed. So you must present the grain offering of broken pieces, a soothing aroma to the Lord. So you are to bake it, now you're to break it. The high priest who succeeds him from among his sons must do it. It is a perpetual statute. It must be offered up in smoke as a whole offering to the Lord. Every grain offering of a priest must be a whole offering. It must not be eaten. Okay, here's the first one that is mentioned as a total consumed offering. If a priest is offering an offering, a grain offering, it is fully consumed. It's not a memorial portion. When we had all of the others, there's a memorial portion and the priest get the rest. But when the priest brings the offering, it is a total consumed offering that is going up. Didn't notice that with the animals, but we'll just keep paying attention and see. And this is the high priest. So the high priest, not every priest, the high priest is the ones offering the daily offering of flour. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, tell Aaron and his sons, this is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is slaughtered, the sin offering must be slaughtered before the Lord. It is most holy. So now we're moving to sin offering from a burnt offering, and we slaughter the animals all in the same place. The priest who offers it for sin is to eat it. What? Yes, now we have instructions to eat the offering for sin. It must be eaten in the holy place in the courtyard of the tent of meeting. So the offering is going to be eaten. Anyone who touches its meat must be holy, and whoever spatters some of its blood on a garment must wash whatever he splashed it on in a holy place. So you are going to splash the garments, but you wash them off. They don't remain. So the blood that's splattered on the garments are going to be washed off. Any clay vessel it is boiled in must be broken. And if it was broiled in a bronze vessel, then that vessel must be rubbed out and rinsed in water. So if you have a bronze vessel, you can clean that vessel that was used. But if it's a clay pot, it just must be broken and not used again. So this is a setting apart, dedicating, and only a one-time kind of thing. Or you don't want any, like, it is a wholly set apart thing. So you're going to destroy the vessel if it's clay, because it participated in this. And if it is bronze, well, then you'll actually be able to clean it. Any male among the priests may eat it. It is most holy. But any sin offering from which some of its blood is brought into the tent of meeting to atone in the sanctuary must not be eaten. It must be burned with fire. So if the sin offering is for a person, that's fine. You can eat of it. But if the blood is brought into the tent of meeting to make atonement in the sanctuary, then you can't. So distinguishing between what is holy and set apart from what is not set apart, and what you can and cannot participate.